Hello, my friends. Jacob is here once again. Happy Sunday to you. Thanks for stopping by and for pressing play. I appreciate it. We're talking about black holes today. Yeah, there's a new super duper awesome crazy Star Trek-y type of a plan to track down alien spacecraft using black holes.
Oh yes, SETI has discovered a new way.
It's a particularly radical idea that spacefaring aliens who are vastly more advanced than us and technically savvy than us, that they would be using the power of black hole radiation to get their spacecrafts through, all sorts of wormholes and all sorts of things. Lewis Crane, a mathematician from Kansas State University, recently authored a study that was published, and the study is called Searching for Extraterrestrial Civilizations Using Gamma Ray Telescopes. I love how everything today has become like a Marvel movie, right? Speaking of Captain Marvel, I saw it. All right, I'll just go on from there. The paper published by Dr. Crane on the subject, the first of which was co-authored by someone called Sean Westmoreland. He's a physics grad student. Crane's study suggests that you could use gamma ray telescopes to basically track, you get leftover radiation, which would prove that there are superpowered, black hole powered spacecraft moving in our universe today. So that's SETI's new plan, find alien starships powered by black holes. I think it's cool, but there's a lot more information on black holes that we need to get to today. Yes, I don't know if you've ever heard, you know what a black hole is, right? Well, first of all, Einstein, about 100 years ago, he said that it probably was there. He said it was there. We didn't find out until just recently that they actually exist. Now, they've been trying to photograph one for a long time. Kind of hard to do that because light doesn't escape a black hole. Can't really take a picture of it when there's no light. But the good news is, it seems like very shortly they're gonna have a picture of one. Yeah, this is kind of big news. They're gonna be using this thing called the Event Horizon Telescope. It's named for the infamous point of no return, where light doesn't even escape, right? So the gravity of a black hole is so strong that nothing can escape it. But it incorporates a huge disc-shaped telescope at 6 different sites in 4 different continents. So everybody's working together to get the picture of this thing, and they've been trying to get a picture of the black hole for a while, but I think within the next couple of months or so, they're saying they're going to release it. There's actually an event going on right now where I think they're going to kind of leak it to the public. But this happened a couple of years ago, and now the findings are being released now. So I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. But not as cool as when you actually start to peel back the layers of what some of the big brains like Stephen Hawking and others have said about black holes. You've probably heard of Hawking radiation. Hawking radiation, which is basically if something gets sucked into the black hole, right? The energy of that was sucked into the point of no return, as they say, would evaporate, and it actually becomes this Hawking radiation. I think it's the same type of thing that they're thinking would power starships. Ideas like this and the idea of antimatter, weapons and antimatter powered craft, which is what's going on right now at CERN. Yeah, they just created more antimatter. This time they created antimatter that lasts a lot longer. Now, if you know what antimatter is, it's the opposite of matter. So everything has an equal and opposite part, okay? So they don't understand why there's so much matter, but they don't see a lot of antimatter, so that it's different. So what they did was they want to understand why is there so much matter present, but there's not as much antimatter present. So what they've done was they've created it, yeah, and they're storing it. Yeah, they're creating this positronium atoms, which last a lot longer. They last 1,140 nanoseconds each. It's a long time. It's not a long time, but I guess it's long enough for them to carry out some experiments, which they don't need the big, large Hadron Collider where they're smashing those atoms, because that's under repairs for a couple of years right now. CERN has actually stated that they've created mini black holes as well. Okay, maybe not. Very dangerous stuff, because, you know, you put matter and antimatter together, guess what you get? They annihilate each other. They annihilate each other. That's why Hawking was one of the people that were very critical about CERN, saying, look, we shouldn't be doing this stuff because you're opening up the door to trouble. You're opening up the door to possibly creating a Mandela effect. Just saying. Just saying. Don't quote me on that. That was Stephen Hawking talking about the Mandela effect. Nah, I'm just kidding. He didn't say that. But he did say that things are going to, if there's a possibility for it. So why would you tempt fate, right? I don't know who Stephen Hawking is, one of the brightest men around. Okay, so he passed away. He passed away about a year ago, almost a year ago. And he had this problem where he was always trying to take quantum mechanics and marry it with general relativity. Because see, quantum mechanics, when it deals with a black hole, says that if something gets sucked into the black hole, science would say that it's lost forever, right? Well, quantum mechanics says it's an impossibility, that the information is stored there and that it's retrievable. Hawking said, how can that be possible, right? So he was always trying to marry these two things into what you call the universal theory, the one thing that unites them all. So his final theory, that he was working with Belgian colleague Professor Thomas Hertog, who's cool and very awesome, they extended the weird notion of what they call holographic reality to explain this. Yeah, that's right. Everything that you're looking at, all of this is not real. It's a projected hologram. It's a 3D projection of 2D information. That information, much like computer code, would be stored at the event horizon of the black hole and projected outward, which is why space is continuing to move. So one of the brightest guys around, two of the brightest guys around, right, they're saying none of this is real, right? This is just a hologram. We're all in the holodeck, right? Or a simulation. It's interesting, because a lot of people that say the Mandela effect doesn't happen. If this was a simulation, very easy to explain the Mandela effect. Very easy to explain changes and why we would remember things the way they were, because we'd be in the game and then there'd be a little change to the code, right? Maybe the makers of this, of the simulation, maybe they're testing us to see if we're awake, right? Or if we could stay asleep, and they're changing little things like the logos of famous companies and famous movie lines, and they're changing all this stuff in an instant, like the Matrix, right? Like the little glitch in the Matrix. You see the cat again, you say deja vu, something's changed. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe this is a hologram. Maybe I don't really care, because in the grand scheme of things, we all exist. And it doesn't smash my idea of faith. It doesn't mess with my idea and my understanding that there is one creator that is in charge of this all, that we all exist in, and that exists within us. This is pretty cool. It's like this world that we're in, whether hologram, simulation, or whatever, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. What matters is what we learn while we're here. We're here for a reason. So his new theory embraces the strange concept that the universe is like a vast, complex hologram. In other words, 3D reality is an illusion, and that the apparent solid world around us and the dimension of time is projected from information stored on a flat 2D surface. Now, this is why it gets very interesting. It gets interesting because they just figured out a way to unscramble information that has been lost inside a black hole. Yeah. So if that information is what's projecting into reality us, I'm not saying it is, that's what they're saying, then they figured out a way to to find that out. Unscramble info lost to black holes. That's right, in quantum physics, information cannot possibly be lost. Kevin Landstrom, a physics graduate student at Joint Quantum Institute at the University of Maryland in College Park, told Live Silence. Landstrom and his colleagues, who recently published a study in Nature, believe it could be possible to find out what information fell into the black hole. Kind of like dissecting the stomach contents of a deceased animal. What did it eat? What did the black hole eat? Information that they thought was unrecoverable might actually be scrambled or hiding among inextricably linked subatomic particles. The team proved they could actually measure when information was scrambled inside the guts of the black hole and how quickly that happened. Quantum mechanics states that pair of particles, that one goes in, the information's still there. So they're finding out what's going in. It's kind of cool. Right? This is kind of cool stuff, and that's why I had to come to you this Sunday and tell you all about black holes and all the interesting stuff surrounding them. Alien ships, holographic universe, stored information that they're gonna mess with, and the Mandela effect. I love each and every one of you. I hope that this has brightened your day a little bit. I hope you have the best day ever. It's Sunday, right? Sunday, fun day. So don't let the rainy weather in Long Island get you down. Have the best day ever. I love you all. Don't forget to subscribe and share the video around, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching Jacob Israel. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and share this channel around. If these shows have helped you, help Jacob to reach more any way you can, and have the best day ever.